Now, October, it's also Depression Awareness Month. So this morning we are chatting the tips and strategies for managing depression and supporting mental well-being. So joining us live now is clinical psychologist and CEO of Healing Spaces, Dr. Keziah Jackson. Dr. Jackson, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
So this is an important topic, right? It's something that you might hear a lot about, but when it comes to the actual signs and symptoms of depression, what are you seeing?
Certainly. So oftentimes when people think of depression, they think of sadness, not getting out of bed, and that can certainly be the case. And other signs and symptoms of depression include hopelessness, even concentration difficulties, not enjoying the things that you used to, and all of these things combined can lead to a diagnosis of depression.
And specifically for Healing Spaces, what you all really like to do is start these conversations in different communities. You mentioned that it shows up differently in different populations.
Definitely. So thinking of children, so we serve a lot of kids, and in children, depression can show up as irritability instead of sadness, and it can show up as behavioral changes, so verbal and verbal outbursts and things like that. In people of color, it can often show up as physical symptoms. So oftentimes they complain about something going on in the body. So complaining of stomach aches, or I might complain of a headache instead of saying, "Oh, I'm really, really sad."
That's fascinating. And you wouldn't even have known that until you speak to someone like this. So when it comes to letting people know, when do they need to pick up the phone, whether it's for their child or even for themselves?
So we all get sad sometimes. When you're feeling depressed, that can be when it interferes with your daily life. So it's hard to work, it's hard to do things around the home, it's hard to do things at school. So in those instances, we would definitely encourage you to reach out to someone like us, a mental health therapist, an expert, to not only help you identify those signs, as well as to talk to someone and help you set up a plan so that you can cope with depression outside of therapy.
And then here this morning, I know you do have some practical tips and strategies to managing your mental well-being, which I'm excited to hear.
Certainly. So the physical body definitely goes hand in hand with the mental. So we want to encourage you to take care of yourselves. Oftentimes when you're feeling depressed, it can be hard to eat, it can be hard to sleep, it can be hard to drink water. So we want to encourage you to do those things, as well as engage in a lot of self-care. I know that's a term that people throw out all the time. However, it is super important to do the things that bring you joy and that help you feel better. So this could be exercise or movement, this can be mindfulness or meditation, it could be just hanging out with your friends, because we know that social support and hanging out with others can help you feel better and can help alleviate some of the signs and symptoms of depression.
Of course, and taking those steps to do those things can almost get ahead of it before it's too late. Oftentimes in those depressive states, like, you're not wanting to do any self-care, right? Like taking that first step to even help yourself is really, really hard. So kind of incorporating those in your everyday routine, I mean, it's crucial.
Certainly, and I think that first step comes with identifying some of those signs and symptoms. So if you find yourself feeling really low, reaching out to get help. There's also a number of hotlines, including 988, as well as local hotlines if you're really feeling down and feel at risk to harm yourself. So that's key as well.
Dr. Jackson, you have taught me something new today, so thank you so much for joining us. Healing Spaces, they're located in Clayton. You could find their phone number, their website, their socials. They're actually having an open house on October 29th at 2 p.m., so it's a great opportunity to meet Dr. Jackson and her team. And I know that you even have an upcoming caregiver support starting on October 23rd. And I want to make sure we get this in there too. They're offering an internship program that allows them to offer low cost and accessible services to clients who need them. So again, if you're feeling this way, if you know someone who might be feeling this way, now's the time to give them a call. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackson, for joining us today.